Hi, my name is Kenneth Knowles, and I'd like to tell you about the following things. Vein structure biometrics can do the following thing in America. Using an infrared scanning system that digitally scans the vein structure in your arm with thousands of unique features. This system can prevent identity theft. It also can assist in immigration enforcement as well as criminal capture. What this can do to prevent crimes and save the most amount of American lives on both sides of the fence is the following. We can reduce the total number of escaped criminals, the total number of terrorists out on the street, the total number of serial killers out on the street. The reason for this is that this saves the most amount of lives on both sides of the fence. Also, if we include payment plans for citizenship, for immigration, this actually allows us to not have to build a wall, and we would have to remove cash to do this. And this way, if we remove cash and have a digital currency just for our entire system, the entire monetary system that is, for the United States, we can enforce purchase restrictions to those specific set of people that are harmful to the society. This can also be used for tax evasion purposes, prevention. It can also be used for, tax refunds to be paid correctly. It can also be used for undocumented workers to be taxed correctly and refunded correctly. And it can also be used for Social Security adjustments as well, instantly, saving less time or saving more time and less paperwork to be required. And currently, the following things I feel will also be affected beneficially, and that's going to be counterfeiting prevention, and it's also going to be we're also going to ensure that there is no way possible for any sort of intervention with this system by removing all people from the banking system. It's the entire system would be automated, meaning that if your check doesn't clear, then you just have to go get it reprinted, and you just simply deposit it into an ATM. With full automation, I feel that our country can do much better in regards to creativity, and I feel that we're going to leave no creative idea left behind, or left unanswered, that is. And I feel that the way that we can do this is definitely with full automation. There is no reason that humans today should have to work the majority of their life and not focus on our creative capabilities, which, I mean, are very, very few and far between. If you think about it, we have, how many items are 200 years famous? Very few. And how many items are beneficial beyond 200 years? Well, this is going to be one of them. And this allows an instant border wall between the United States and Mexico, as well as any other part of our border with Canada. Now, with this being said, we can keep these Americans safe and these Mexicans safe by preventing illegal immigrations, and we really need to focus on payment plans for citizenship for these people who are already here. And we can easily do this. Everybody generally uses a debit card or an EBT card or something like a digital form of payment like Apple Pay or Google Pay or PayPal. And we're leaning more towards this already. And I honestly feel that this is going to do a tremendous service for our people in this country. And I feel like we could honestly just about eliminate crime with this, as far as the major felonies are concerned, the ones that are involving future terrorism, as well as it's also going to remove identity theft capabilities from criminals, and it's also going to remove any sort of fraud that takes place normally with debit cards by being used by other people. I also feel that a handout line is going to be very, very beneficial, used for a signature for people, and then we can also include facial recognition as well as cell phone purchases. But this solves just about the majority of all problems that the United States is facing currently here back at home, and we can also, determine, the identity of people much easier. For any unidentified people, this also solves a lot of the missing persons numbers that are on these same missing persons websites and whatnot these years, because generally the total number of missing people is right around the same number every year. It's very, very close. It's within a few, like, thousand, and that means that it's probably for financial greed, for the most part of these people, and those would be wasted resources, spent looking for these people, or spent awaiting their return, when likely, it's for financial greed. And I mean, it's unfortunate that a lot of people do things like that, because it just takes away from the real search effort from, say missing children and things like that. Those ones, or those types that, report things and then just claim life insurance or something like that after going missing for, however many days. And my primary concern with all these types of things is that when we focus on inventing and we have nothing to do all day, our bodies aren't worn out, by the age of 70. It probably increases the life expectancy. There's also a few other things that I was worried about in America. I feel like Coumadin, also known as warfarin, kills the elderly by removing their mobility with warfarin necrosis. Now, normally, if you take warfarin or Coumadin, it's also made out of it's made out of strychnine, so it's rat poison essentially. It was used as rat poison in the 1920s, and with that being said, we need to focus on primarily on these few number of things that are actually harming Americans, and they are very, very important. They're killing people daily. And a lot of elderly don't know about this. And for warfarin not to be strychnine and harm you, you have to metabolize it at the same time that you take a K-tab tablet. And the reason for this is that it neutralizes the warfarin. Also, there's fluoride in the water. Most of NATO is fluoridated. And unfortunately, this does cause, lots of issues, because in hotter climates, people drink more water. So it's biased. And we need to focus on this, and these things are killing us today, right now, this very second. Would you ever wonder why